All right, well, hey there, folks. Meteorologist Matt Barrentine getting set up here in our Fox 10 Gulfstream Center. Obviously, we just did the 9 o'clock and the 10 o'clock show. I want to kind of continue on to kind of give you a little more of an in-depth look here at what we can anticipate through the rest of the evening. I do have really good news in the sense that it was almost like a balloon deflating. We saw a lot of the warnings drop off right about the same time, somewhere around 8:30 or so, or maybe 9. But once the warning started dropping off, they all dropped off, and there hasn't been any more since. So what's happening? Okay, well, here's the severe outlook. You notice there is kind of what I usually describe as a bullseye. That's the level 3 enhanced risk over here in central Mississippi. So that's the whole time. That was where we anticipated tonight to have the worst weather, and that was the case. They had a number of tornado warnings here in that area this evening. So when you look at how they put this kind of product together, the Storm Prediction Center, you need a number of ingredients to make severe weather. Think of it like a cake. A cake needs 5 or 6 main ingredients to make a cake. Well, over here is where 3 or 4 of those ingredients were coming together. So that was the highest risk. In our area, there's just a couple of ingredients coming together, so not as many ingredients, so far less likely that you're going to see severe storms, or at least significant severe storms. Same deal with the tornado activity. Once again, this was the area that was marked out in the bullseye, and that was where most of the storms did happen. Now, I wanted to bring this up because this is something I was keeping a very close eye on. It's the watches and warnings. And we have a tornado watch still up across the area, but the warnings were really important because the warnings, we had a bunch of tornado warnings through central Mississippi, through central Louisiana from about 6 in the evening, maybe about 5 or 6 in the evening to about 9 in the evening. And then, like I said, at 9, it was like a balloon deflated. We just did all the lift in the atmosphere just kind of fizzled out, and all the warnings went away because all the storms dropped below severe levels. So you look here, there's a flash flood, little tiny flash flood warning on there, but there's no severe thunderstorm warnings. There are no tornado warnings, so there hasn't been a severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning since I think before 9 o'clock. So it's been a while, and that's a good sign when they drop off and then they stay dropped off. It's unlikely once you get later into the evening that you'll get a whole lot more. Doesn't mean there's a zero chance, but there's just less of a chance. So here's the setup. Here's one thing about this I'm going to tell you right now, that there's still going to be heavy thunderstorms tonight. Even if they don't get quite up to severe, quote-unquote, severe levels, they'll probably feel severe to you because you'll probably get woken up in the middle of the night, very heavy rain pounding your window, a ton of lightning just lighting up the sky. These are some big-time rainmakers. They are really sucking in a lot of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. And the storm chasers that have been out in these storms tonight were saying, heard multiple of them saying that these are some of the heaviest rainstorms they have driven through in a long time. So these are some gully-washing storms here that are out there tonight. The good news is they are moving. We could have some real flooding issues if they were to decide to stop and go over the same places over and over, but they don't seem to be doing that. They are moving along. Right now, we have some light rain across the area. None of this is severe. In fact, just now starting to see the first lightning bolts close to our area up there just north of Lakesville. So that's a good sign that we're just now getting some lightning bolts. It's been pretty quiet. Widening the picture, closing the picture in around Loosedale, Chunchula, Gulf. So passing showers here. None of this is severe that we're getting now. Some showers around Millery. Here's those last couple near state line. So that one's become a thunderstorm. So our next 10 hours, so overnight, you can see the rain chances really ramping up. And the high rain chances are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, right through the wee hours of the morning. That's when the best chance of rain is. So let's put up the futurecast here. I'm going to get myself out of here so we can see it pretty close up. Pay attention to that clock there in the top left-hand corner. Look at the line around Hattiesburg at 1 a.m. Now look how this thing fills in around 3 a.m. Now it's really raining heavy. So once again, heavy, blinding rain across the area. That continues 4 or 5 in the morning. Heavy rain across the area. Once again, probably not going to see much in the way of tornadoes out of that. It's just not quite the setup. We've lost the forcing. but gusty winds on the front edge of this, a lot of lightning and very heavy rain. I mean, even if these, like I said, they're not up to severe levels, they wake you up in the middle of the night with your house shaking, lightning flashing outside, they're probably going to feel severe, okay? So just be aware of that. That's what we're anticipating overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. This is 7 a.m. This might mean folks are driving to work still, so, might still have some issues on the road. Michael will be here. He'll let you know what's going on. As we get later in the morning, though, things really begin to wind down, and then we're just looking at spotty showers from about 10 a.m. through about lunchtime. Then early afternoon, most of the rain is now moved off to the east. How much rain? Well, this is where we're probably talking about 2 to 3 inches of rain. Now, keep in mind, a lot of this is going to fall within about an hour to 2 hours. Yeah, you'll have some scattered showers after that, but the heaviest stuff will last about an hour to 2 hours at your house, and it'll dump 2 to 3 inches of rain. So these are some really heavy showers. Like I said, if they decide to just stop, boy, that would do some flooding damage, but we don't anticipate them to stop, so that's the good news. And we need rain, obviously, so we'll take this. We definitely need it. But once again, it's likely to wake you up with that rain hitting the windows tonight. These are the wind gusts. Going to be up around 27, 28 miles per hour, so we'll be windy overnight. Now, there will be on the front edge of those storms a wind gust front, probably about 40, 50 miles an hour, so keep that in mind. But the actual regular wind gusts in the rain will be about 25 to 30 miles per hour. Tomorrow, see the showers and storms in the morning. Once we get past lunchtime, it's warm, but it's just cloudy. We're not looking at any more thunderstorms there. Wednesday will be quiet and cool. Then Thursday on Thanksgiving Day, temperatures probably only in the upper 50s in the afternoon. We'll start in the 40s in the morning, upper 50s in the afternoon. So it's going to be a cool day all the way around and likely a cloudy day. In fact, let me show you something here before I get into all this, because I was a little concerned earlier in the week because we were watching another system forming in the Gulf. And I was worried that it might be bringing us some rain here on Thanksgiving Day, but the models now are all pretty much coming together with this system being a little farther to the south and west on Thanksgiving. That's 6 o'clock in the evening on Thanksgiving. Rain's still nowhere near us at that point. So I'm going to keep a small rain chance on Thanksgiving, but it's just for an evening shower. So don't worry about it. I don't think there's really much chance of rain on Thanksgiving. Now, Friday morning on Black Friday, different thing here. Looks like we could see some light rain. And the good news, I think, it's just going to be light rain because this low is going to be pretty far south of us in the Gulf. So anything we get will be pretty light. It may just end up being a light, spotty rain. Really won't be a big deal for us, I don't think, here on Friday. But just be aware it's a possibility of seeing some rain there. So once again, we'll be looking at some thunderstorms here overnight into early tomorrow morning. And that wraps up. Wednesday's going to be a nice day. Thursday, pretty nice day. I mean, it'll be kind of cloudy and gloomy looking out there, but hey, not too bad. Could be worse. Upper 50s out there. Friday, Black Friday, a few scattered light showers in the morning, and things definitely be cleared out by the weekend. Weekend looks good, 40s in the morning, 60s in the afternoon. Plenty of sunshine looking good there. All right, if you joined late, I'm going to run through the modeling one more time. I'll do the one that's a little bit closer in and talk about the timing here of this rain overnight. Once again, if you mentioned it earlier, we've lost, the atmosphere has really lost its forcing, its instability. We don't have any warnings going at all right now. We haven't had any warnings since about 9, so they've dropped off and they've stayed dropped off. So I think it was before 9 we saw the last warning. So that's good news. It means we don't have much of a chance of seeing very much severe weather here overnight. I'm not going to say the chance is 0 because it's not 0. But it's very low likelihood at this point that we see anything significant. Now, we will get heavy rain. That may seem significant enough, and we will get a lot of lightning here during the overnight hours, and it very well could wake you up. So please keep that in mind. Midnight, pretty quiet there. 1 a.m., pretty quiet. Here comes the big batch of rain. 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. It'll be really heavy at this point. Like I said, blinding rain. A couple of inches drop really, really quickly. And a lot of lightning. Like I said, this is going to wake a lot of people up. And I know for a lot of people, it'll be like, oh, no, something's going on out there. This will likely stay below severe levels here as this moves through. There are certain marks that we have to hit for severe weather. Trying to get it off the top of my head. It's like 60-mile-per-hour winds, I think. Gosh, I should know this off the top of my head, but we haven't had severe weather in a while, so it's like 60-mile-per-hour wind and hail of a certain size. Lightning has nothing to do with whether or not a storm gets called a severe thunderstorm. Nothing at all. So it's all about how strong the winds are, how big the hail is. We won't have any hail with this. We don't have the atmospheric profile isn't good for hail. We will have some strong winds on the front of it, but probably not strong enough for most of these storms to go severe. It could happen, but probably not. 6 a.m. in the morning, rain, still pretty heavy. 7 a.m. in the morning, still pretty heavy. So if you're driving to work here, could certainly run into that. Then after about 7, 8 in the morning, things really get much spottier. Still be some showers around. You still could run into a shower or two, even to lunchtime and beyond. But the worst of it will be done by about 8 or 9 in the morning. So that's what we're looking at. Once again, we'll be here keeping an eye on things tonight, just in case. Just in case. Like I said, I'm not. My concern levels with this system are very, very low. It's going to seem worse than it is. I'm telling you that now, because it's going to happen in the middle of the night. Very well could wake you up. Windows will be shaking with lightning. That rain will be blowing sideways, heavy rain. It'll seem worse than it is. I'm just throwing that out there. Probably won't have very much in the way of warnings and stuff through the rest of the way through, but we'll be here. We'll be watching it myself. Michael's going to come in the middle of the night, and we're going to kind of do a handoff, and he's going to come in and help out. A good way to keep up with everything here tonight is to pick up our Fox 10 weather app. So if you're catching this on Facebook, please download our app. Begging you, just download it. It's free. And I'm telling you, I'm not just saying this to toot our own horn. It's a good app. It works very well. What I'm showing you here is you can choose your alerts. There's, under the little setting, there's three little bars that's always on an app. You click on that, and there's settings, and you click on Fox 10 alerts. And what happens is this thing pops up with all the different alerts. There's a couple things on here. One, precipitation and lightning. Turn those off, okay? When the people that make this app, one of the things they did, well, for a lot of the country, just getting rain is a big deal, or getting lightning is a big deal. For us, that's just like Tuesday. We don't want to be alerted every time there's just rain or lightning. So turn precipitation and lightning off. If you're a boater, you have marine on there. If you're not a boater, turn off marine. You don't need that stuff. So you can kind of go through and pick out what you want and what you don't want. So you can only be alerted to things you really care about. If you're not worried, like I said, about marine, turn it off. You don't need it. So that's a great thing about it. Some apps you download them, they're just going to keep throwing stuff at you. This is what I like about our app. It'll only tell you what you need to know, and you can pick what you need to know. So download our Fox 10 weather app, and then segments like this, they'll be on there. If you're watching us and the power goes out, you can go right to the app, hit watch live, pull us up. Once again, I'm meteorologist Matt Barrentine. Thank you so much for joining us here. I do appreciate it here on the Fox 10 Gulf Stream.